Ask yourself why. Why is the book I'm reading all about these crazy people in the subject of flat Earth? Crazy characters, each more bonkers than the last. Conspiracy subject studies, especially via YouTube, will eventually lead the rabbit hole.
Victory Royale!
Yeah, well done, Daddy. Earth is measured flat in all circumstances and without exception. So, given that the globe relies on these flat Earth measurements, how can you make the fact Earth is measured flat into a belief? Simple. Have the people who discuss the subject be crazy conspiracy theorists who mostly talk about Earth not being a globe rather than it being measured flat.
Not evidence, measurement. Instead of pseudoscience. After measurements, put beyond the flat Earth ones. Beyond the flat Earth measurements in brackets.
Right, that's it.
She's still not doing it, and she's doing her stupid crafts, and I even warned
Stupid
her.
crabs? What, stupid crabs?
Where do you put those little Lego sets that I had?
Crafts.
Stupid crafts?
Yeah. And she said, Mummy told me to do it, and I should have said, well, Mummy also told you to do those cards, and you haven't done any. But Mummy wanted.
Can you stop grassing on each other?
Do a craft, so then I did it.
Stop grassing each other up.
Where do you put those Lego sets?
They're in that box that I said that I'd rearranged. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The one that cut my fingers to pieces.
Aww. Stupid box. Right, we're going on to chapter 10. I'm going to go get something. Hey, stop it. Oi, stop it. Right, Eleanor.
What did you say?
Now we're going into chapter 10.
No, we need to hear that chapter again. There were just too many edits to it.
Okay.
Don't you think?
From the bit we started today.
Yeah.
Eratosthenes, the first to beg the question. The first person credited with calculating Earth's circumference and subsequently extrapolating a spherical radius is Eratosthenes, who did his calculations circa 200 BC. While his book on the measure of the Earth explaining his work was not preserved, another astronomer of that time, Clemedes, reproduced a simplified version to calculate the Earth's radius. The simplified method worked. A geometric calculation reveals that circumference of the Earth is the distance between the two cities divided by the difference in shadow angles expressed as a fraction of one turn. As part of the process of educating yourself about how Earth is measured flat, I hope you will begin to notice the obvious flaws and grotesque assumptions in the models and in the mathematical calculations of its finest astronomers. They assume the Earth is a sphere before they do any calculations. If you assume the Earth is a sphere, then the calculations of the shadows, a flat Earth elevation angle measurement, left by the sun by both trees at the exact same time, would give you a fictitious number for curvature and circumference and radius. But suppose the Earth is not a sphere, their entire model falls apart, and all their calculations become void. Eratosthenes and Clemedes were two men who lived in Narnia long before C.S. Lewis created the fantasy land. Their alleged proof of an R-value is a massive failure of the scientific method. Abu Rayhan Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Biruni, aka al-Biruni, attempts to calculate radius. What's up in there?
Sorry to interrupt. What did you mention calculated from 2 trees? Sure, I heard trees.
No, there was trees. This was part of a quote, though. Abu Rayhan Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Biruni, aka al-Biruni, attempts to calculate radius. Al-Biruni is credited next for calculating the Earth's radius over 1,000 years ago. Al-Biruni devised a novel method of determining the Earth's radius by means of the observation of the height of trigonometry to calculate the radius of the Earth, using measurements of the height of a hill. Al-Biruni measured the height of the mountain using triangles and elevation angles from a flat plane. It is critical that you understand this. The maths and geometry globe Earth believers claim proves the Earth is a sphere start with the measurements of an Earth that is flat to give us an assumption of a tangent point horizon, so he could make a dip angle measurement to when he looks at the actual horizon. So you can assume that what he's looking at in the distance is calculable with a value below the surface level. He's actually looking at and assuming the surface level he's looking at is now bent when he just measured it flat. Right, do you want me to go on to number 10?
Is that it? Oh, that didn't need any corrections then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was good.
Chapter 10's about 4 pages.
Yeah, let's have it.
Right, chapter 10, Lunatics. Ask yourself why. Why is the book I'm reading all about these crazy people in the subject of flat Earth? Crazy characters, each more bonkers than the last. One of the latter participants of FED, Nigel Soprano, once said, "All conspiracies lead you to flat Earth, a spin on the fact that all measurements of Earth claimed to prove a sphere lead you back to flat Earth measurements." The sentiment here being the fact that conspiracy subject studies, especially via YouTube, will eventually lead the rabbit hole.
Victory Royale!
Yeah, well done, Daddy. Especially via YouTube, will eventually lead the rabbit hole diver to the subject of flat Earth. Earth is measured flat in all circumstances and without exception. So, given that the globe relies on these flat Earth measurements, how can you make the fact Earth is measured flat into a belief? Simple. Have the people who discuss the subject be crazy conspiracy theorists who mostly talk about Earth not being a globe rather than it being measured flat.